Starting lineups for FC Olympia. In goal, number 1, Jackson Osborne. Number 6, Nathan McKinney. Number 7, Sylvester Vallejo. Number 8, Jack Stivitz. Number 15, Sebastian Zuber. Number 16, Enrico Guerrero. Number 18, Connor Loafwood. Number 19, Chad Sobdi. Number 22, Kolya Thomas. Number 23, Tyler Allred. And number 26, Tanner Dutra. Your starting lineup for United PDX. In goal, number 0, Rowan Schnebley. Number 6, Oliver Giesing. Number 9, Isaiah Easley. Number 19, Ben Augie. Number 21, Mohammed. Number 23, Loic Bowers. Number 24, Alexander Ward. Number 25, Sean McDowd. Number 27, Connor Evans. Number 29, Michael Hatcher. And number 42, Vova Kubrikov. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Hello and welcome to Lincoln High School here for another USL2 game between United PDX and FC Olympia. My name is Seth Orensky, joined by Jimmy Clarke. And Jimmy, thus far on this homestand, United PDX has done exactly what they wanted. 9 points from 3 games, a chance to close out the homestand with a perfect 4-0 record, keep their unbeaten mark here at home this season, and move out of a tie for second and back into sole possession of second place. The only tough part, a team that's already beaten them once, a game where they went down a player in the second half back on June the 12th. What are you hoping to see out of a United PDX team that, again, looks a little bit different this time, though, because of some absences in the lineup rather than Troy Reddy kind of tinkering and tailoring, and it's worked so well thus far?
Yeah, and also, too, you have to realize is that they've gained rhythm, right, and they've gained momentum as the season's gone on. So, and they got them at a place where they, you know, there's the players come together. They all don't know each other very well at the very beginning. So that's probably what you saw in that game, and you saw probably a little nerves, a little bit of a young team. Now they're organized. Troy's done a really good job of bringing them together, focusing them on how to be more of an offensive-minded team. And you've seen that in the last 3 games. You know, we didn't hardly get goals at the very beginning of the season. Now, all of a sudden, we're getting 2s and 3s and 4s goals in a game. And that momentum and that confidence, you can see, has got better and better and better as the season's gone on. So I'm hoping to see some real good football today.
This was a United PDX team that scored 1 goal or fewer in each of their first 5 games, including being shut out twice once versus this FC Olympia team. Since then, they have turned into one of the better scoring units in the entire league. 16 goals scored, plus 10 on the season, second best to Ballard. And you look at this homestand, 2 goals in a 2-1 win over Ballard FC, 5 goals in a win over Capital FC Atletico, 4 goals in their last one, a win the other day against West Seattle Junction. They're the only team in the Northwest Division to have won 4 consecutive games. They look to make it 5 today as they will take on one of the 2 teams that's defeated them this year. It was a 1-0 loss to FC Olympia and a 1-0 loss to Mid Lakes. For this FC Olympia team, they come in 6th in the table, 3-4-2 on the year with 11 points, 5th on points per game. They are the league's lowest scoring team with 10 goals. They face off against the league's best defense. 6 goals allowed in 9 games for United PDX. They've given up 1 goal in 270 plus minutes during this homestand, back-to-back shutouts, and a league-leading 3 on the season. For United PDX, they will be wearing the home black jerseys going from right to left. FC Olympia in the road whites with the gray shorts. We'll bring you the lineups, and there are some different looks as Troy Reddy without some of the players who've been playing really well during this homestand. As we get an immediate whistle. And Jimmy, it looks like an FC Olympia player ran into Connor Evans as he kicked it, but we'll get a whistle, and hopefully this is just an aberration. We had some interesting refereeing the last game out. Let's get you the starting lineup for United PDX. In net, Rowan Schnebley has started each of the last 6 games, has been phenomenal, back-to-back shutouts. Loic Barres starts at left back for the 2nd consecutive game. Same center back pairing of Sean McDowd and Michael Hatcher, who have played every minute during this homestand, as we get an early corner kick off the free kick. Good early chance here for FC Olympia. Mo Muhammad's at right back. Ben Augie, Connor Evans, and Oliver Giesing, the midfield 3 for a 2nd straight game. Alexander Ward makes his first appearance in the 18, and he is starting today at left wing, the Colorado College player, as the corner kick is immediately headed away by Hatcher, and a chance to break out. Isaiah Easley is back in the lineup. He's trying to chase this one down. The Clemson player transferring to the University of San Francisco, and out wide, Vova Kuberkov finds himself back in the lineup. Vova had a good assist the other day for Jackson Finn. It's one of those players unavailable. Players like Finn, Jamin Gogo, Peters, Ryan Ludwig misses a 3rd consecutive game, and Marios Andreu started the first 2 games of this homestand out for a 2nd consecutive game. On the opposite side, we don't have a formation, but we'll give you the starting lineup. Jackson Osborne is in net. Nathan McKinney, Jack Sivitz out there alongside Silvestre Vallejo, Sebastian Suber, Enrique Guerrero, Connor Lofi as the shot skies high there. That was the first look from Alexander Ward, who again, not seen a ton of him this year at home. Chad Sovdi, Kolya Thomas, Tyler Allred, and Tanner Dutra for head coach Jason Dunn, the former Seattle Sounder. And immediately, Jimmy, we're 2:07 in, both teams with early looks.
Yeah, and I really like the transition we had from there. From their corner, we got it. Evans made a really good ball up to Chebley, and so it was good to see that transition happen really quickly. And then, they keep the pressure on them. So let's hope that continues into this game.
United PDX has been especially good in the second half as of late. Multiple goals in the second half of each of their last 4 games. This is a defense that has given up 7 goals less than the 2nd best defense in the league, Ballard FC. As they come into today tied for 2nd in the league with Tacoma Stars, but they've played 2 games less than the teams sitting 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th in the standings. So United PDX can have a big week this week with games on the docket for Tuesday and Friday. They can shore up their playoff positioning going into the final week of the regular season when they'll play 3 games in 6 days. Muhammad steps forward, and it'll be out for another Sylvester Vallejo throw. Vallejo out of Sultan, Washington, plays at Seattle Pacific. To the feet there of Sovdi. This was a game that we were excited to see a lot of Seattle University players. Mo Muhammad, one of them. 4 on the roster for FC Olympia. United PDX has 2, but Jackson Finn, who scored twice the other day and was our MVP, is not in the 18 for tonight's game. Get the throw in from the near side for Loic Barres, who had a beautiful assist the other day. And this one will be out for a throw. The ball will ping around the midfield. Jimmy, one of the interesting things with no Jackson Finn, without Jamin Gogo-Peters, yes, you could say, oh, that this lineup might not be as deep, but it's a chance for Isaiah Easley, who's looked good in moments. Vova Kubrikov, who hasn't gotten his goals, but has created a lot of chances. And maybe even an Alexander Ward, who we see for the first time during this homestand, to step up. It's kind of been a revolving door for Troy Reddy and Matt Broadhead of next man up and just continuing to have faith.
Yeah, we saw that in the last game where they had 5 new starters, right? And they've had 2 amazing games prior to that. So, Troy doesn't mind, changing up the team as it comes into it. So, we're going to see if they can step up and keep that same momentum in this game. And so we'll look forward to seeing that.
Oliver Giesing, who's making his second start in a row and second of the summer. The midfield is the same. They played well. Ben Augie was given that red card in the first meeting for violent conduct. In fact, it was a moment where he was given a red card and there were 2 yellow cards issued on FC Olympia. Now that happened 3+ weeks ago, so hopefully no bad blood, but something to watch out for is that's a heavy touch from Hatcher, and the University of Portland player will sky that one out for a throw. It's a lovely evening here in Portland. Temperatures probably as nice as we're going to see them this week. Only hit 73 today. A little bit warmer on the turf as we've got I think we're going to get a handball or a foul there on the attacking player. Temperatures skying into the hundreds this weekend in Portland, which if you're not familiar with the area is a little bit warmer than we're used to. This is Sean McDowell, the Notre Dame sophomore, who's done a great job in holding down the fort with Ryan Ludwig unavailable. Ludwig and Connor Evans were the only 2 players to start the team's first 6 games. And Evans is in there for his 10th start in 10 games. He's the team's leading scorer with 10 goals, despite having a lot of responsibilities all over the field. He scored 4 in the last 2 games, including a hat trick in the win over Capital FC Atletico. Giesing to the feet of Mo Muhammad. Gets the chance to play against some of his collegiate teammates. Forward for Chad Sovdi. We've talked about the absences for United PDX. Leonard Falk is not available today. Falk is a grad student at Seattle U, originally out of Appenzell, Germany, and he scored 5 of the team's 10 goals. So the lowest scoring team in the division without their highest goal scorer. Could be an uphill battle against United PDX, especially if they've done what they've done the last couple of games, which is get that early goal and immediately put the pressure back on the opposing team.
Yeah, and you can see that they've come out to fight, right? So they've put some good balls passing, good triangulated passing. They're getting forward, and they are getting some chances. We've already got a corner. We've had a couple of chances. They've obviously fouled on that last one, but they're actually looking pretty decent, and I think they're going to give United a nice little run for their money today.
Yeah, these 2 teams finished pretty close in the standings a year ago. It was FC Olympia, then Ollytown, who finished 1 spot ahead of United PDX. They finished 2nd to earn the playoff spot. United PDX finishing in a tie for 3rd. Played 3 times in Ollytown, the winner in 2 of the 3, as we've got a foul outside of the box. So there's a lot of contact on Mo Muhammad, and it'll be a free kick from a really interesting spot, not just because of the angle, but because the ball is going to be coming from shade into sun.
Well, yeah, and also too, they can put this in like a corner.
2 options. Looks like Evans and Barres. Barres, the left-footed player. Evans, the righty. Evans is that big-time goal scorer, at least recently. It's not something that is typically his style, but also delivers a great free kick, as we'll see which of these 2 players either could be lethal. Evans fakes. It'll be Barres to rip it in, and it's headed home. A beautiful goal from Isaiah Easley, who scores his second of the homestand. And just like that, it's 1-0 in the 9th minute. Easley from Barres.
You know, and if let's go back to the play before where Momo had the ball down in that corner, did a really good job of standing them up, getting open, and obviously getting that foul there. And that took a little bit of patience. The quality of that kick, free kick was perfect. No, it was dangerous all the way in because it was bending in towards the goal. So Easley comes in, got a great opportunity, knocks it in. It's a great finish, and
Number 27.
You talk about the delivery there. That's one of those balls which are so difficult for the opposing goalkeeper because that one might go in without a touch. And then, so as a goalie, you have to react to the initial cross. Any kind of touch, any kind of change of direction, it's almost certainly going in. And Easley, who has been coming off the bench behind Jackson Finn in 2 of the last 3 games, gets his chance to start. Second goal of this 4-game homestand, second of the summer. He's now tied for second on the team with Finn with those 2 goals, and that's exactly what you want to see. He's not that big, imposing body, but that's just hustle to get through the center backs and get ahead to him.
Well, what's beautiful about that goal is a forwards goal, right? So great free kick, but he's pushing forward and he's getting in front of his defender and he gets the nod in. Even though it was a great ball going towards the keeper, make it dangerous to give the keeper an idea, should I go out, should I stay in? But he did a great job getting in front to get the nod.
And for Jackson Osborne, the redshirt sophomore, who's going to be a Santa Clara University player this fall after spending 2 years at the University of Washington, he's only given up a goal in each of the past 2 games. Well, he's given up one early here, and obviously that puts them in a tough spot. But another free kick won. That was Augie who put the hand on the shoulder, and standing behind the ball is Enrique Guerrero, the Seattle University player. He's going to have a couple of players around him, although it looks like Chad Sovdy's just handing out directions. Silvestri Vallejo has come over as well. Guerrero in the middle, and I think he's the most likely to take it. 3-man wall.
It's a dangerous position. If he can get a nice little bend around the outside of that wall, this could be dangerous.
The sun is certainly playing a factor. Rowan Schnebley holding a hand up to his eyes before that, and not the kind of free kick that Sovdy was looking for as he hit the right upright. Sovdy did score a goal against West Seattle earlier this season, redshirt freshman out of Bellevue, and it's a little bit of a let-off if you're Olympia FC. You just gave up a goal. You'd love to get one back. Similar free kick opportunity. Honestly, I'd say a better angle and not really able to test Rowan Schnebley.
Yeah, as a player, that's where I love to get those free kicks from there because you get enough room to get it over the wall and it has enough time to come down. That was just a poor free kick.
This is McDowd. Bit of a miss hit, but fortuitous bounce, and it'll end up out for a goal kick as he hit that directly into one of the attackers. That may have been Jack Sivitz. PDX out to another lead. They have not trailed at all during this homestand. They have now outscored opponents this year at home 14-2. During this homestand, it is 12-1. And this is the 4th of 4 home games in a row as United PDX has made a charge up the conference standings from 5th into a tie for 2nd, a chance to move up to sole possession of 2nd tonight. Out wide looking for a cross. That was Alexander Ward, who will earn his team a corner kick. And again, I'm not as familiar with Ward. I don't think you are as well, but it's a similar job that's being done by one of these wingers of providing space, getting what looked like a potential threatening ball in there, and forcing another corner kick where this team has been so good. Barres, who just had the assist in the last one, looking to drive by line, trying to cut it back. It is cleared out by Sivitz as far as Mo Muhammad threw the foul on that free kick goal. And Mo will play it back for Schnebley. Jimmy, how much does it help this entire attacking core that it's the same group of defenders who have their chemistry? We're seeing the same group of midfielders, and throughout this entire homestand, Evans has kind of centered that group. But knowing that you're going to get good delivery, yeah, you might be working with a different player to your left or right, but you're going to have a strong core behind you where it means you don't have to score 3, 4, 5 goals.
Well, it makes a huge difference when you do have a good defensive team, right? And, obviously they've had great success this year by not, letting teams get beyond them. And so it makes a huge difference because you can feel a little bit more at peace, but you can't lay back on that premise of going, all right, we've got a good back four, because any game and any moment could change the dynamics just like that. So it's important that the midfield keeps showing. Right now, I have not seen Connor Evans get in the game a little bit. I'd like to see him a little bit more, control it, look for it a little bit more, get better angles, and then play from the back into midfield and then into the forwards. Right now, we're going from the defense to the forward, and then we've got to win that first, and then we've got to win the second ball.
Loic Barres was the player taken out there by Sovzi. He appears to be okay. Nearing the 15-minute mark in this first half, 1-0 United PDX on the free kick goal was headed home by Isaiah Easley off a really nice cross into the box from Loic Barres. This is Mo Muhammad on the far side. Another thing is, Jimmy, this is one of those quick turnarounds, Tuesday to Friday for United PDX. So while you don't want to take anyone for granted, if you can get a multiple goal lead, 3, 4 goals, then you can maybe take off some of these players with a little bit more minutes under their belt over the past couple weeks and keep them fresh for a game on Friday that who knows what reinforcements you'll have available for Capital FC Atletico, who, again, they're the last place team, but they have been tough. They took points off Tacoma twice and a surprising 1-1 tie against Ballard on Sunday.
Yeah, I think that if United get a couple more goals here in this first half, then I think what you'll do is you will see a few changes to rest some of the top players.
The only question is who are the top players, because so many different guys have played well, and it hasn't necessarily had to be the same guys during this homestand.
Well, you look for players that might have a little knack, they've just got a bruise in their thigh or their ankles, they may have turned it over or something. So you look for those players, rest those ones, and versus it just being over a fitness.
This is one of the few times that we've seen FC Olympia building out of the back. They have not had nearly as much possession, and when they have had it, they've moved quickly as a player slips and falls. That was Sivitz. Jack Sivitz out of Issaquah, Washington, another one of those Santa Clara players. Had 4 goals and 4 assists in his freshman year when he was named to the Mountain West freshman team. This is Hatcher dribbling through a pair of players for Barres, looking upfield, trying to find Easley amongst a pair of white shirts. Bouncing around, and Loic will find the ball, leave it off for Giesing. Out wide for Mo Muhammad. And Mo's going to cut back in. Giving room, and Mo Muhammad looking to find the run there. All the way out wide for Alexander Ward along the corner flag. Tracks it down. Has the option of Loic Barres. Barres crossing the back post. Volva can't quite put it on target, but another nice delivery from Loic Barres.
Yeah, you can see he's got a little bit of energy in his game today. We're seeing Ward get out there, get wide. The 3 forwards, you can see him pushing out to the sidelines, which is great because that gives more space for the forwards. And it's a great run from Momo right across the field.
Yeah, we don't normally see Mo Muhammad do that, but also if you're going to be given that space, it feels like everybody, all the field players on this team are capable. Even seen the occasional run from a Hatcher and McDowd during this homestand, where if you're going to give them space, they're going to take advantage and help initiate the offense, as we've got a throw that's going to be pushed farther forward. Not typically the wary of the referee group. I do love that these games are played with 4 referees rather than 3. Just means you're a little bit more likely to get the call right, and also even clearer on the substitutions. This is Schnebly, who has just been so good. In fact, the last 2 games he's left the field in the 70th, 73rd minute because the team has been winning by enough goals that It's given him a chance to take a seat, and Davis King to get some minutes, the backup keeper for United PDX. That one is floated just a little bit too far out there by Osborne, who, while he hasn't seen a lot of collegiate minutes, has been the main keeper this summer. Started each of the last 6 games now, 3-3-2 on the summer with 2 shutouts. A goals against average of exactly 2, 16 goals in 8 games. Fair touch for Connor Evans. Evans will float it forward, looking for the run of Mo Muhammad, but heading this one away is Tanner Dutra, one of the 2 center backs who plays his collegiate soccer at Utah Tech. Now it's McDowd heading it back for Schnebly as we're into the 20th minute. Still a 1-0 game. Haven't seen a ton of shots on target. In fact, the only one that's been on target was the goal from Isaiah Easley in the 9th minute. Couple chances either way. FC Olympia's had a couple free kicks and a corner, but have not been able to test Rowan Schnebly. Out wide, it's Barres. Loic looking for his options. Will play it back for McDowd. And McDowd for his keeper. Does feel like FC Olympia has been willing to put a little bit more pressure on this back 4 of United PDX, but it's allowed them to play it just right over the top. This is Ward looking for the run there of Giesing. Easily chests it down, trying to find Augie, but it's won back by FC Olympia as this ball is maybe a bit too ambitious. McDowd will control and play it back for his keeper. We've seen each team take a little bit of a different approach with United PDX, and this has been the most aggressive press we've seen in the attacking half of the field or the defensive half of the field, depending on which way you're looking at it.
Yeah, I've seen what United's doing right now. Is they're being patient by playing at the back, but what they're doing is they're bypassing the midfield. They're only getting it to Connor Evans giving it back, and then it's going long, which is not a bad play with the room they're getting, because they are getting that second ball. And if they keep winning that second ball, that will keep the pressure on into their half. But there's too much of a gap for me right now in looking at the midfield and the defense.
Dangerous back pass from Augie, and Schnebly just able to boot it away. That could have been disastrous. McKenzie towards the top of the box, and Connor Evans there to settle. But another poor pass. Guerrero is there, lifts it, and it'll go out wide. But that is not what we're used to seeing out of United PDX. A couple of dangerous turnovers in their own half.
Yeah, there was just lack of quality there, and just not thinking it through. And these like little passes they're doing at the back are dangerous. And again, I think we're missing that midfield. I would like to see a little bit more from Giesling coming back and looking for the ball versus it only being Evans. Because it just creates a dynamic that just means it bypasses the defense, goes up to the forward. But as long as they're winning that second ball, they can get away with it.
Nearing the midway point of this first half, still 1-0, but not much separates these teams. We've seen good pressure coming from FC Olympia. McDowd will flare it all the way across, looking for Mo Muhammad, but that pass bounces out of the complex. It's the most troubled, I would say, we've seen United PDX look since the game against Ballard FC. They were calm and in control for much of the Capital FC game and then West Seattle, but this is good pressure from FC Olympia and maybe a little nerves on the opposite side from United PDX.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to get back in the game, so FC Olympia is going to put a little bit more pressure on them, and you can see that. You can see they're pushing up a little bit more, because at the beginning when United had the ball at the back and they were passing it around, they dropped off a little bit. So obviously the coaches said to them, look, let's put more pressure on them and let's force them to make a mistake, and it almost has happened twice.
This is Schnebly for Evans, and if you want someone to kind of take control of the game, calm the game down, Evans is a good option. So it's headed away by Dutra, looking for a teammate, and they do keep it in. Ball bounces ahead for Augie, has the run out wide of Vova. Instead, Augie's going to keep it and eventually dishes it off for Giesing. Giesing for Augie. They've got Barres out wide to the left, and Mo Muhammad is all by himself to the back post. Instead, it's headed down by Dutra, and this one will go out for a corner. almost maybe too many options there for United PDX as they floated one into the box, aiming for, I think, easily there as it ended up going out for a corner. Connor Evans will slowly make the walk towards the corner flag. Barres will likely provide the short corner option. Kind of are a 50-50 team of whether they want to go short or play it directly into the box. They've already scored off of a free kick today. It'll be Evans to take here, and Evans towards the back post and an easy catch for Osborne. Connor Evans scored one goal in 4 years, had 4 assists at Stanford between 2020 and 2023. 4 goals this summer, and that's 4 goals while playing a role that requires a lot of defensive responsibilities. He has been ever present on the field for United PDX as part of what looks like it could be a banner summer. This is Kolja Thomas, one of a pair of Germans on the roster, a pair of Germans who typically play big roles. Thomas and Leonard Falk, who, again, team's leading scorer is not in the 18 we believe today, and it's not even an 18 for FC Olympia. They only look like they have 4 subs available for this game. United PDX, despite missing quite a few players, has the full retinue of subs. They're able to pull from their stable of reserves. This is Hatcher dribbling himself, trying to get out of trouble. Finds Muhammad, looking to go up the line. Dribbles it past one player and eventually stolen away. Floated towards the box, and a good job coming over by McDowd to get in front of a Olympia player. Not out of trouble yet. Evans put it towards midfield, easily the only black shirt there, and Dutra heads it away. Coming over is Tyler Allred. Allred, who plays at Division III Santa Cruz. Enough pressure on Mo Muhammad, and it's out for another corner. Third corner of the game here for the visitors, and at least for the rest of this half and probably much of the second half, this near side or right side of the field is going to be trouble for keepers because they're looking into the sun as they try to stop some of these crosses and shots. 27th minute, 1-0. United PDX over FC Olympia. Right-footed in-swinger towards the top of the 6, headed towards the back post and off the top of the crossbar. Enrique Guerrero just a bit too much behind it, and it's out for a goal kick. Decent looking corner kick there from FC Olympia, but unable to really test Rowan Schnebley, and out for another throw-in as FC Olympia has been able to pester United PDX. They've been able to break up the momentum. This one falls for a FC Olympia player, but not a ton behind the shot from Nathan McKenzie, and Rowan Schnebley has his first save of the game. Oliver Giesing trying to get it through a pair of defenders. It's knocked down, but broken back immediately. Loic Barres with options, lots of options to his right. Barres off the back of his own teammate Augie as he tried to find Mo Muhammad. We go the other way. Sovdi, 1v2 as Augie able to make up for his mistake and break up the counter. But Jimmy, you were not happy with where that ball ended up.
No, you know, it was good that he made that run, but Augie's got to move. He's either got to go forward or he's got to pull out and give him the space because he saw him running across. And so that's just bad communication.
Here is Hatcher looking for help and finds Giesing, who played some under-19 soccer in Germany. Goes back and forth there with McDowd. Head for Evans, finds the chest of Barres. Loic with an assist in this one, trying to leave it off for Giesing, who wins the tackle. For Evans and back for Barres as these three try to work through this pressure. kind of odd to say, but I'd almost like to see more of Connor Evans on the ball today. It just feels like he hasn't seen as much of it, and that may be part of why this game is a little bit more disjointed than we've seen the past couple. This is Evans winning the challenge and being dragged down, and that's a clear foul, if not a card.
Yeah, what's happening is you just got the defense that are, when they got it, they're just knocking about. And what you're seeing right now is FC Olympia putting a lot of pressure on. And when you get that lot of pressure on, you're not got quality of passing, you're bypassing the midfield, there's too much of a gap. So that's the reason why you're not seeing Evan involved in the game as much.
Coming in and making the tackle is Sivits, and winning the throw-in is was able to knock that one off Giesing last. Lots of communication from this team. This is Sebastian Suber. He's wearing 24 today, junior out of Kirkland, Washington. Plays at Division I Rider University, where his dad is the top scorer in men's basketball history and a Hall of Famer with over 2,200 points. About to hit the 30-minute mark in the first half. United PDX leading at 1-0, looking for their 4th consecutive home win and what would be their 5th win in a row. Trying to hit the 20-point mark after they finished with, I believe, 16, maybe 17 a year ago in their first season in USL2. There's Evans, a perfect clearance right to Easley. Can they start something here? As Easley had 2 white shirts coming back, and it's won by Connor Lofi. Lofi, though, not out of pressure. Ward continued to follow it up. And it falls to Evans. 3 black shirts to his right. He goes to his left for Giesing. Giesing looking to break down. Suber to the middle. No one there, and it's cleared out as far as midfield. Mo Muhammad with going up the ladder, and we're going to get a foul there against Suvdi. I guess he may have gotten in the way of Mo Muhammad, but it was Sovdi who was claiming that he was hit in the head.
And this is what I'd like to see from the United PDX, is to push it into their half, keep it there, and so then when they're looking for that ball into the forwards, look into their feet so you can keep it and then have the midfield join a little bit later. So they've got to keep the pressure in this half right now.
Evans elects to play it short. It's certainly how the game started, but has not been the case over the last 10-ish minutes. FC Olympia's done a nice job of not allowing that early free kick goal in the 9th minute really allow this game to escalate and go downhill, as this is Hatcher making a marauding run. Cleared back the other way. Evans covering for his center back, and Evans wins the header for Mo Muhammad, but that wasn't the greatest of headers, and now Sivits has it. FC Olympia looking to create. To the middle of the field, working with it is Lofi, out wide, edge of the box, left-footed cross, and McDowd, no-nonsense clearance out for another corner.
That was very dangerous, and that's where the defense have to communicate. They should have stepped up there once they started to see that run come. Unfortunately, they kept him on side. It's a brilliant ball over the top there from FC Olympia. Great pass inside, but good enough now that the United was there to defend it and get it out for a corner.
4th corner kick of the first half here for FC Olympia. Haven't been able to put one on target. They did have one go off the top of the crossbar. This is Tyler Allred, the junior out of Sammamish, Washington, who will take it. Has a short passing option, but he'll take the right-footed in-swinger to the near post. McDowd gets there first. Barres only as far as about 10 yards outside the box. Whipped back in. Hatcher ahead to it. Now it falls, and the left-footed swinging shot from McKenzie goes well wide of the post.
Yeah, not a bad chance right there. And if United could keep those kinds of shots coming from outside, that's all right. It's not just going to put too much pressure on them, right? They can handle that. But at the same time, you want to put enough pressure on them that you don't get it.
Into the 34th minute. PDX looking to avenge an earlier 1-0 loss on the road back in early June to this FC Olympia team, one of just 2 losses on the season for United PDX, who comes in at 5-2-2. Started 1-2-2, but have won 4 in a row, including big wins over Ballard FC, Tacoma Stars, and West Seattle Junction. Augie for Hatcher, and now Mo Muhammad is do have some clouds and some cover, covering about half the field now in the attacking half. This is Giesing from distance, knocked down by one of the center backs. And it's Suber looking to show off the speed. Coming over was McDowd, and really been impressed by McDowd, Jimmy. Wasn't the starting center back, playing behind Ryan Ludwig, a really high-level player who's an upperclassman, I believe, at Stanford. McDowd, playing these last 3 games, there's been no letdown in any way from Ryan Ludwig, who so good he was a graduate of Stanford University.
Yeah, I think the back 4 has played excellent for United. And he's come in and he's fitted in nicely, and he's got good composure. It's not like he wants to boot it every chance he gets it. So I'm happy with what I see from them on the back.
And he's worked really well with Hatcher. You haven't seen any change in the chemistry, and that's such an important spot to really know where the other player is playing or is going to be.
Yeah, and and like I said, they've found a nice little rhythm between them. They've been knocking it about nicely. My only thing that I think they've just got to be cautious of, especially today, because you got FC Olympic really putting a lot of pressure on them, is that these balls that they're tinkering with at the back there, it's got to be a little bit dangerous, because you can see in that second half of this half, their coach said to him, push on. We're going to force them to make mistakes, and they have. There's a couple of times that we've had the ball 1 or 2 touches and then given it right back to them. So that pressure's working for FC.
This is the keeper, Osborne, after the foul on United PDX in the attacking half. They had some good sustained time in the attacking half, but weren't able to really pressure FC Olympia, as Barres trying to keep this one in bounds and will be unable to do so. Into the final 10 minutes of the first half as United PDX leads it 1-0. Top defense in the league against the lowest scoring offense. United PDX looking to follow up those numbers and potentially earn what would be a 3rd consecutive shutout. No one in the league has posted more than 2 outside of United PDX. And right now they have not allowed a goal in well over 200 minutes. McDowd taking the space to the feet there of Kubrikov for Mo Muhammad. It's interesting, you have majority of the bodies forward and players all over it. Vova's almost playing center forward at this point. That's broken up, and now Hatcher has to come over. Sivits gets there first. Sivits waiting for runners. He'll slow and played into the middle of the field there for Guerrero. Guerrero had that corner kick float off the top of the crossbar as the pass aimed for Easley is going to be behind him, and it's settled by FC Olympia. Guerrero floats it out the other way. 3 white shirts in the vicinity, trying to clip it ahead for Sovdi, and Hatcher's there first. Back and forth we go. Either team really getting much further than the 18-yard box, but this is better for United PDX.
Yeah, it is, and FC's doing a really good job of putting the pressure on. You can just see again, we're not winning that second ball right now. And also, too, I'd love to see them pass the ball 1-2 touch versus them trying to hold on to it a little bit too long.
Hatcher with another intervention, and a clearance that's just a bit too strong as there's some screaming below us. Not quite sure from which side. 1-0 United PDX in the 9th minute. It was a free kick goal scored. Isaiah Easley heading home across from Loic Barres. That's the difference to this point. Owen Schnebley's made 1 save. Jackson Osborne, I'm not sure if he's had to make a save to this point. Ahmed will play it over for Hatcher here. United PDX finds themselves in a two-way tie with Tacoma Stars once again after Tacoma earned a win on Sunday at 17 points. They're 2 points up on West Seattle, who has 15 points in fourth, and 4 points up on Mid-Lakes United, who United PDX split with a pair of 1-0 games. Back pass to Osborne, pressure coming, and he's able to float that one out towards United PDX bench. Kept alive by Muhammad. Stepping in to get the header is Hatcher, and Giesing will look to settle. Feels like we're playing hot potato right now in the midfield as Mo Muhammad able to settle down, and now Hatcher is bundled over, and he's going to earn, not sure if they'll give a free kick or a throw-in, but it'll stay with the team in black.
And that's what I'm talking about, that pressure that the FC's putting on them. They're just like, then they're reacting too much, and then they're just, the quality has gone off. So that's where they've just got to play the ball, switch the play as quick as they can, so then that way they stretch them out, because this is a big field. You know, FC should be getting really tired if they keep chasing this ball down as much as they have. And so United needs to play that as their advantage. Keep them moving.
United PDX have definitely had more possession, and I'd say more possession in the attacking half. But only the one goal to show for it is Connor Evans not on the same page with Mo Muhammad, and it's out for a throw-in as it pings off the corner flag. And the PDX will show a little bit of the pressure. This ball's thrown in for Guerrero, and he'll float it out towards midfield. Sovdi gets his foot on it, but Civits can't control. Giesing looking for Ward, and it'll be played back out towards midfield. Here's the run of McKenzie, but Barres is there first. Barres towards the corner flag, and it's clipped back, and Civits picks it up. Civits looking for a cutback to the back post, and Mo Muhammad gets there first. Important intervention with All Red right on his back.
Right there, that shows the experience of Momo right there, because you know what? The guy he's marking was working as hard as he could to get in front of him, and he would just casually got back into his right space, so it made it easy for him to get there and just knock that out. That just, again, reinforces the quality of the defense for United.
Yeah, it's certainly a system where the outside backs get forward. They play a part in the offense, but they're also terrific defenders, as this was towards the back post. Augie got a head on it, and it's out for another corner. Half a dozen of them now for FC Olympia as they look to break this scoreless streak of United PDX. Last goal conceded was in the first game of the homestand in the 87th minute, so about 9 minutes of stoppage time on top of that. This should be Sylvester Vallejo towards the back post, and Schnebly makes the catch. Doesn't feel like Rowan gets tested all that often because of how quality of a defense this is, but he makes the plays that he needs to.
Yeah, when it's time for him to show up, he shows up.
Schnebly had a great redshirt freshman year at Stanford. Started 15 games, 8-3-4 with 7 shutouts, including a shutout of #1 Marshall in the NCAA tournament. Led the Cardinal all the way to the 3rd round. Here's a chance, easily into the path of Barres. Barres at the edge of the 18, looking for a left-footed shot, back post, and it's just out of the reach of Ward there. It will be a corner, but that was, I think, a pass from Barres. If it was a shot, it was going to head just wide, but nearly a second there for United PDX, and easily their best look from open play in the first half.
Yeah, and it's a good run. I mean, this is where I was talking about stretching them out, being wide. The second, I think it was a great turn there from Easley, right? And then there's a great run, and he's got so much space. It was a simple pass.
And it's something that we've seen from United PDX all season long of the center forwards are players that are totally willing to fall back and initiate the offense rather than looking to be up top poachers. As we're going to see Michael Hatcher have to come off. I'm thinking this is a blood-related thing as the referee came and checked on him. Hopefully they can get him back out there quickly because he'd be a great option on this corner kick, but also you don't want to play down a man for too long.
Yeah, and so going back to your comment there, I think it's great because the forwards are coming back to find the game, right? So if they're not getting it, which they have been over the top, but when they get that ball onto feet, what it does, it changes the dynamic, because now you can get it, you draw defenders in, and then they can play it off to the midfield player, who then plays it out wide. And that's where you saw Burrows getting option, and this is where you see Momo even on the other side getting down there. Same thing for Volvo. And that, if they keep that going, play it into the forwards, get it back to the midfield, and let the midfield spray it out wide, they'll keep getting around the back, and Burrows will get a lot more opportunities like that, and he will find himself putting one of them in the back of the net.
So Chad Sovdi is going to have to come off with blood on his jersey. So we're 10 on 10 for this corner kick. Believe this is Barres. He plays it on the turf for Evans, looking for a 5th goal of the homestand, and it's a brilliant save from Osborne to deny it. That was a great corner kick play, as now they'll send Hatcher back on. Sovdi's still looking for a jersey, so now United PDX will actually have an extra man out there here after what was a brilliant look from Barres to Evans. Now Barres will call out directions, likely sending this one towards the 6. And instead they'll play it short for Evans. Back for Barres, already with 1 assist, and he did not hit that one the way he wanted. Giesing is not going to have a chance to cut that one back, and that one is not going to go on Loick's highlight reel.
Yeah, isn't that when you say just a bit outside? Is that one of the American
yeah,
ways of
that would work. That's a pretty famous line.
Just a bit outside.
We're into first half stoppage time. Can't be too harsh on Loick. He does have a brilliant free kick assist already in this game. I nearly had a second there on the Connor Evans shot that was stopped on a great paw save from Osborne. Can't imagine we're going to have too much first half stoppage time as they still look for a jersey for Sovdi.
And you can see now United starting to break him down a little bit. They can tell they're tired, the FC team, so this is good advantage.
Barres floats one in, an easy catch for Osborne. Sovdi has a jersey, and his coach asking for him to be let back on. He's been approved. And that'll be halftime. So a minute plus of stoppage time, and Jimmy, another convincing defensive performance to this point. It's been a little bit nervy at points, but United PDX doing what they have done this entire homestand and really this entire season, playing strong defense and letting the offense grow into the games when they don't start hot.
Yeah, and you have seen that. To me, I think they've done it a little too much because it can be dangerous, especially when FC's starting to put a lot of pressure on them. That's when you've got to start looking more forward into the midfield. And you did see that for a few long balls from the back, which I thought was very good. But I would prefer to see it go out wide and into the midfield players and come back out, because then you're moving up as a unit versus this long ball, which means you've got to win the first and the second ball, right? And if you can't win, if you're not winning that second ball, then what you're doing is you're letting them right back at you. So you've got to be really careful of that. And so they should be spreading this game out, using the full pitch, which they started to do there at the end there, and they got a few good chances.
Well, and it started to show in those final 5 minutes. You have the great chance from Barres that Ward nearly put in. You have the ensuing corner kick where Evans was able to get a great shot off. It just feels like these first 5 to 10 minutes of the second half could be crucial. Similar fashion, it was 1-0 last game against West Seattle, and immediately within the first 18 minutes, 2 quick goals from United PDX completely put West Seattle out of the game. How crucial do you think these next couple minutes are going to be coming out of the break, letting Troy Reddy make those subs that have worked so effectively, and also maybe change the tactics slightly or focus to really put this team away? Because these are 3 crucial points when you talk about some of the upcoming games for United PDX next week.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're spot on, and it is going to be crucial, right? And FC's not going to come out. If you can see them in the part of that second part of that first half, they started to really put a lot of pressure on United, which made it very difficult for them, right? And they had a lot of chances. So I wouldn't count FC out at all. I think they're a good team, and I think what you're going to see immediately, the coach is going to say, look, we got to get one back quickly. quickly. We do not want them to get momentum. Now, if I'm United, I'm saying, guys, we've got to get quality in the midfield. There is tons of space in that midfield. We've got to use the field. We've got to stretch them out, and we've got to keep that ball being knocked about versus doing it in our own half. Let's push up into their half, and that's look to play there versus in our half, because FC is dangerous.
Let's take a look at our sponsors before we take an audio break for halftime. Core Water, enhanced with electrolytes and minerals. Core Hydration helps you stay feeling your best. Core Water. Level Beer, brewing subtle, balanced, and traditional beers with a healthy mix of New World ales and lagers thrown in for good measure. Level Beer. And finally, Elite Real Estate, serving Oregon and Southwest Washington, and now open in Vancouver. We are Elites. Come on in. It's 1-0 United PDX at the break. Isaiah Easley, second of the summer, off a Loic Bars free kick assist. That's the difference. We've got 12 minutes to go before halftime. We'll be back in about 10 minutes as United PDX looks for their 4th win in 4 games during this 4-game homestand. Welcome back. Just about a minute to go before the start of the second half. Seth Orensky joined by Jimmy Clarke. Before we get some more halftime analysis, let's take a look at our sponsors. It all starts with Core Water, enhanced with electrolytes and minerals. Core Hydration helps you stay feeling your best. And it really does. It's great water. We'll go to Level Beer, brewing subtle, balanced, and traditional beers with a healthy mix of New World ales and lagers thrown in for good measure. Level Beer. And finally, Elite Real Estate. Serving Oregon and Southwest Washington and now open in Vancouver. We are Elites. Come on in, Elite Real Estate. Well, Jimmy, FC Olympia is back out there. United PDX taking a little bit longer, and it'll be interesting to see if Troy Reddy makes any changes. The only player that we're used to seeing as an attacking sub available today is Drew Peterson. We've seen Troy make 2, 3, 4 subs right at the break, but with a slightly different looking bench that hasn't been seeing as much time. Do you expect him to be liberal in his substitutions here right out of the break?
I don't think so. I mean, he may do. I mean, you never know with him on what direction he'll take. But I will say I wouldn't. I would probably keep the same team out coming into this second half because you know that they're going to put a lot of pressure. FC's going to come at United pretty aggressively right from the off. And so you want to make sure that the same team that's out there has the same rhythm. And I would probably look, 10, 15 minutes into the game to start making some changes.
Yeah, this is a game where FC Olympia only has the 4 subs available, and they are without their leading scorer of the summer. Leonard Falk has been tremendous this year with 5 of their 10 goals, including the game-winning goal in the 90th minute in their last time out. United PDX without a couple of their top offensive options, Jackson Finn, Jamin Gogo Peters, both not in the 18 today. So we will see what looks like a very similar, if not the exact same team here. Anthony Godinez is up off the bench, but not sure if he's checking in. Loic Barres just went over to the bench. That was a halftime sub we saw the last game. And Loic is one of those players where if you wanted to, you could use Loic almost as a second half sub, moving him from left back to an attacking position because he does have that positional versatility.
Yeah, he brings a lot of dynamics. I'm kind of intrigued that he sits in the back as a left back versus a left midfield player because he's a very offensive-minded player. And then coming off and coming out around that outside, I think he makes a massive difference. So I like him as a player, and I think he can make a difference in this game.
Well, it is Anthony Godinez coming on, but I'm pretty sure that it's Alexander Ward who gives way. So Godinez, for the second consecutive game, instead of starting, will be on the bench. But we see Barres moving into that left spot, and he's certainly capable. He nearly had that goal/assist on that play late in the half where Ward almost came in off the deflection. So one change, the player that we've been seeing the most during this homestand that was available off the bench.
And I think it's great that it's come. We just talked about that, moving Barres up a little bit more so he gets a little bit more. Godinez is a great addition to this second half as well. So I think this could drive some good momentum. If we can get Barres out wide and get him the ball, he's a dangerous player, and I think he can do some great things for United.
And Godinez is another player who can get involved in the attack. He had a great assist, pinpoint cross to the head of Jackson Finn in the last game that resulted in the second of 4 goals scored in the win over West Seattle Junction. FC Olympia does not appear to have made any changes. This is Kolya Thomas, the German native, who's, I'm sure, very eager to watch his team play on Friday. Just a lot of great soccer going on. We're happy that you're watching our game, although I believe that Copa has finished for the night. It just feels like if you're a soccer fan, this is one of the best times of the year.
Yeah, it's a great time, and it's so beautiful out here tonight. I used to love playing evening games because you get a little change in the air, especially on a summer night like this. It's beautiful.
Yeah, even the local residents, the Thorns and the Timbers, they have a pair of games this weekend. Timbers at home on Friday. No, Thorns at home on Friday and Timbers on Saturday, what promises to be a busy soccer weekend here in Portland. United PDX will be on the road on Friday down in Salem at Capital FC Atletico before finishing off their home schedule on Tuesday when they host Tacoma Stars, a team they defeated 2-1 on the road to start this 4-game winning streak. It's Barres in his new position, leaving it off for Evans. Godinez made the run. Now he'll recycle it. The nice thing with Godinez is now you have completely fresh legs attacking the opposite outside back. Mo Muhammad, who had another really strong first half performance, drew the foul that led to the free kick, that led to the goal. He battles for the ball here, working against Allred, and he's going to be whistled for the foul and does not agree with our AR on the near side. Vova Kubrikov gets taken out, and he will draw the foul there. Heavy challenge from Jack Sivitz. Vova had an assist of his own in the last game, set up Jackson Finn's second goal of the night. And it'll be Loic Barres, the left-footed player, to come over and work with Evans. And it feels like if you're going to use Evans here, he's passing this angle. Barres is far more likely to try to be shooting inside that near post.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see if they're just going to play it, get it around the wing here. But if I was them, I would play it into the net, play it into the box. Sorry.
And it will be Barres taking the pass. Has a player just over the head there of, I believe that was McDowd, certainly one of the two center backs, and another very good delivery from Barres, who's shown off that skill today. Barres on the turf looking for Augie. Broken up in the midfield there. That was Sebastian Suber. Keesing for Augie and Godinez, and it just feels like that's one of the spots where United PDX maybe has a bit of an advantage on some of these other teams. Between Barres and Evans, they have really good set piece takers. Evans thinking about a shot, he's denied. What a great save diving to his right by Osborne, who's had two really good saves on Evans, one late in the first half and one just under 5 minutes into the second.
Yeah, it was well taken, and he got himself open. He created his own space and got his shot off. Lovely.
Evans has scored 4 times in the last 2 games, bidding for a 5th, and it just feels like Balconner's still probably not a guy who's looking for his own shot. Certainly has to have a little bit more confidence after these past 2 games.
Yeah, and it's great to see him, you know, because he's a defensive midfield player, and he plays that role. He's a good playmaker. So to start seeing him get some offense and start seeing him get some shots off, it's exciting to see from a player like him. And he can do it. He's proven now in the last few games he can do it.
The shade is now covering nearly the entire field, minus a little sliver alongside the near sideline. This is Barres winning it. A little bit of a miss hit, puts the pressure on McDowd, who pops it up, and McDowd will win the header. Hatcher trying to come over to keep it in and does so. And PDX made that a little bit harder than they needed to upon themselves, but able to clear it out of trouble. Really haven't seen the ball venture at all into their defensive half here in the first 5+ minutes of the second half. 3 of the 4 available substitutes for FC Olympia are up on the bench, as James Dunn and Peter Hatcheru try to find a way back into this game. Their team was out far sooner from the halftime huddle than United PDX, who took the entire 15 minutes. Chance to go into the air conditioning, probably use the whiteboard. This is one in the midfield. Lofi dribbling around. Finds the feet of Sivitz and pushes it out wide for Suber. Sebastian back for Sivitz. Ball ping-pongs around, ends up off the face of Barres, and the attempted cross will be deflected out, and we've got another corner kick. First the second half, and should be the 7th of the game, as Barres still appears to be shaken up. Taking the corner kick will be Silvestri Vallejo out of Sultan, Washington. An assist in his first season at Seattle Pacific. Vallejo all the way through, and we've got a foul. It'll go against FC Olympia, and I believe that was Chad Sovdi again. Sovdi, excuse me. 1-0 United PDX on Isaiah Easley's second of the summer, coming at 8:45, a free kick header off an assist from Loic Barres, the difference in this game. United PDX has scored 9 goals in their last 2 games, conceded 0, as this is a chance for Sovdi, cutting it back. 2 players in the vicinity, left-footed shot, and very little behind it. But another turnover resulting in a look, and Nathan McKenzie wants that one back.
Yeah, they're very lucky not to lose a goal there. That was very poor play from Volvo. He should have just got it down quickly and turned and got forward versus a bad touch, which gave them an opportunity in there. We were very lucky not to get a goal against there.
Yeah, I was surprised that the center forward was cutting it back, and then you look up and there's 2 players in the vicinity. But Nathan McKenzie struggled to get much behind that left-footed shot, and an easy save for Schnebly, who's made 2 or 3 in this game. This ball back to the near post. 2 players were there. Kuberkov doesn't get a ton behind it, and it's still bouncing around, and eventually the shot is sent wide. But after a really calm, confident first 5 minutes, it's been a little bit awkward these last 60 seconds or so.
Yeah, and that's going to happen in a game. I mean, especially this team. I think they're a dangerous team, FC. So, and they're putting the pressure on them. So it doesn't surprise me that they're going to get in and out of this game. But United's got to take control of it whenever they can, and they've got to take advantage. They've got to keep putting it into their half, squeeze the game up, make sure that they win all the first and second ball.
Schnebly fakes the short ball, but he's been going long for much of this contest. And Rowan will try to pick out Augie and Evans. Said it's headed away, and now we've got a foul coming against United PDX. And despite the foul going against United PDX, the conversation was with Sovdi, who's been involved. It's been a really clean game, but he's been involved in most of the challenges. Got a sub ready for United PDX. Bring you the name and number when we have it. This could be Drew Peterson. Off the free kick, floated to the top of the 18. Sovdi is there, and he's offside. Now 10 minutes into half number 2, and United PDX ready to make their second sub of the contest. And they'll bring him in. For United PDX, a big week, playing the teams currently sitting 6th and 8th in the table. This will be Augie coming off, who was given a straight red just about this time, the last time these two teams met. Game in which FC Olympia won 1-0 on an 84th minute goal. And is that Jackson Finn? No, that's Drew Peterson. So Peterson will come in, but I think they're going to drop easily into the midfield. So Peterson will be the midfield. And again, you talk about that versatility with this team. It's so nice to be able to move Barres around, move easily around. I wasn't sure who the backup center forward would be in this game with no Finn, but Peterson, the Gonzaga player, will be given the opportunity here in the second half.
Yeah, and if you get easily picking the ball up in that midfield, right, and running at players, and that, you know, you could create some damage here.
Peterson, a sophomore out of Lake Oswego, who had 3 goals and an assist in 18 games with the Bulldogs. Started 5 games this summer, still looking for his first goal. This one is floated out towards midfield. Evans got taken out. At some point, you've got to see a yellow card for Sovdi just based off accumulation. This referee, exact opposite of what we saw on Friday. Just happy to keep the card in his pocket. Honestly, I think the players would rather see that. Godinez for Barres, and right back. We're in the 60-minute mark of this contest. This United PDX is nearing 250 scoreless minutes during this homestand. Hanging around, and it's going to end up on the foot of Evans here. For Hatcher. Now he looks upfield trying to find an option. Gives it off for Schnebly, who will feed it all the way across. What a beautiful ball for Godinez. And Godinez tries to keep it alive. Broken up, and a great tackle from Godinez to win it back. Now can they make something of it? And a good step from Suber to break it up. It's so nice to have Schnebly be able to just ping that ball out. And if not for the quick pressure from FC Olympia, that could have led to a decent chance. Ball pushed up wide. Barres has two runners into the box. Barres back post, and it's broken up before it could get to Vova. Really nice and important intervention from Silvestre Vallejo.
It was a great play, great run. There you go again, right? Getting Barres around the backside, getting behind them. That's where it's dangerous. And that was a great ball across. And Drew, if he was just a little bit faster, he could have even got that. I know it ended up looking like it was going to Volvo, but reality is Drew could have just snuck in there and got that. But that's a great play.
If you're the winger, are you trying to pick out one of those two runners, or are you just hoping to put it in a place where either could get to it?
Well, as a player, for me, I'm trying to pick a player. I'm trying to pick a player and go for it. And that looked like he was going for Volvo. I would have gone for Peterson myself, but the reality is that he did try. It looked like he was trying to go to Volvo because that was a really penetrating ball to the backside.
Connor Evans will take the corner kick. Plays it short for Barres. Barres has been great with his delivery today. This one bouncing around, finds the head of Hatcher. Hatcher plays it to his feet. Hatcher trying to cross it to the back post. A little bit too much behind it, and Easley will settle just inside the 18. Easley looking to cross it back just over the head of Peterson, and it catches the chest of Hatcher and goes wide.
Yeah, he's gonna, he's gonna dream about that one. He's gonna think to himself, if he just stayed a little bit calm, he tried to flick it, and he could have got that and actually got it down quickly and got a shot. That's how much room he had.
Michael Hatcher did score a goal during this homestand. He scored the 5th and final goal in the win over Capital FC Atletico, as we've got a restart. This is the second or third time, and they're going to restart this because there was some jersey holding. Saw this within the first 30 seconds of the game, and as we hit the 60th minute mark here. Retaking the free kick is Jackson Osborne. Started his collegiate career at the University of Washington, heading to Santa Clara this fall. So he'll look to earn his first collegiate appearance after playing a lot this summer. This is his 9th start in 10 games. Vova Kuberkov wins the second ball. Peterson battling for it. Peterson against Dutra, and Dutra able to clear it. And eventually it's floated out. Battle here between Sovdi and Hatcher. Ball falls to Sivitz, who takes a tumble, gets right back up, and they'll call the initial foul on Hatcher in the battle with Sovdi. Koya Thomas, the junior from Deutsche Dingen, Germany. I guarantee I mispronounced that hometown.
Yeah, sounded like you got that way wrong. But
it's not one of the host cities in Germany, so I've been hearing it for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think I would have got it either. So
yeah, he plays at Montana State Billings, a Division II school. He's been one of their better players this summer. Mostly has started as a defenseman, but has started the game as a forward as well. Two-time all-conference player in his first 2 years with Montana State Billings. Yeah, German pronunciations, especially of towns, not something that I'm going to say I'm quite good at.
It's not your superpower.
Sovdi on the free kick towards the 6, chested down by a Olympia player, then floated out. This is a chance for numbers for United PDX. They've got 3 players there. Peterson holding off the attempted grab of Guerrero. It's still Peterson looking for Mo Muhammad, who steps forward. Back for Peterson, who was offside. And that was really good from Guerrero in that he did enough to badger him, but was not called for the whistle there or a yellow after the play ended.
And it's a great transition play, and you know they really took it to him. Drew did really well there all the way through. Even the P played in there. Tomomo was solid.
Bouncing around, and eventually it'll find Peterson, who's providing some good energy off the bench. This is Koya Thomas. Ball falls for Peterson. Peterson out for Kuberkov, has Muhammad. Kuberkov wants the shot, and he sends it wide. The 63rd minute, a tense 1-0 lead for United PDX. Looking to earn their 6th win of the summer and move up to 20 points in the standings. A point would put them in sole possession of second place. They want the full 3 here as Tacoma Stars tie with them on 17 points, but after tonight, United PDX will still have a game in hand. Got a sub about to head over to the table for FC Olympia. Both of these teams' benches with some players that haven't been seeing a ton of time recently. I trust your entire group as Mo Muhammad will draw the foul there on Vallejo. Hatcher looking to take it quick. Out wide for Barres. Into the midfield for Easley, who scored the lone goal on this one. Easley for Evans, and now Godinez. Godinez floating into the path of Evans, coming over is Koya Thomas, and Thomas wins the challenge there. Civitz dribbles around Barres, and now Suber finds himself in trouble. 2 black shirts, and it'll go United PDX's way. Free kick right along the corner flag. And we'll see that first substitution of the game for FC Olympia. Nathan McKenzie comes off. And this looks like Lucas Simmering. Throw in over the head of Giesing, and it'll be cleared out a little bit further. Jimmy, we're almost 20 minutes into the second half. I'd say it's a continuation of late in the first half where United PDX has been better, but anytime you're leading 1-0, not creating a ton of chances, it just feels like you're in a potentially dangerous spot. What do you need to see out of United PDX here over the final 25 or so as Mo Muhammad tees up a shot, scuffed it, and they're going to say there's a foul for dangerous play. What do you want to see out of United PDX here over the next 25 minutes or even the next 5 to 10?
A goal. A goal. The reality is they've got to put a lot of pressure. FC is a solid team. They're putting a lot of pressure on United. They do look like they could get a goal, right? So United's got to get a goal here pretty quickly, just to give them that little bit of cushion, give them some energy, and really deflate the FC team.
Osborne's free kick, able to find Allred, and now this is Sovdi, who did score a goal the first time these two teams played. The lone goal in the 84th minute. Sovdi wins the free kick, and we've seen FC Olympia generate quite a few. They've had almost 10 corner kicks, and they've had some free kicks from good spots. They just have not had consistent delivery. United PDX off the hook a couple times. This will be Vallejo, the lefty to take. Vallejo towards the 6th, and Mo Muhammad, the first man able to get there. Peterson into the path of Easley. Lots of black shirts heading forward, but an important intervention from Enrique Guerrero. Enrique still with it. 2 players making the run. Sovdi to the turf, still with it. Back to Guerrero, and his shot will go wide with Godinez trying to get in front.
Yeah, see, that's where it gets dangerous, right? When you start trying to, do too much and try and force it, especially in your own half, that is what could happen. That's the danger, and that's where FC looks strong. is picking up those like loose balls and bad passing when they put pressure on them. So FC's got to get it into their half, shrink this game down in that middle area so they can play it, and they've got to get around wide and get around the box, around the back, should I say, and get crosses in. And they've got to get a goal. Just they've got to shut this FC team up. They've got to make them feel they can't get back in the game.
2 players coming off for United PDX. Isaiah Easley, who started at center forward, moved into the midfield, and Loic Barres, who just like his teammate, started in one spot, made a change, and they're both off in the 68th minute. We'll bring you the names of the subs in a moment, as there's one of the subs getting an immediate touch. Looks like Kevin Lowe, who's battling for it here. Lowe has been a consistent reserve that Troy Rennie has confidence in, and the other is Donovan McClellan, who we're seeing come off the bench for a second consecutive game. We go the other way with speed. And that shot cross is well wide. Looking.
It's very much like, it does look like, you know, United's putting so much reliance on a good defensive team, right? Because they've not let a lot of goals in. And you can tell the midfields are just relying, okay, it's going to go back there, they'll save us. And the reality is they can't do that. They've got to take this game, take control of it quickly.
Mohamed looking to dribble his way through trouble, almost makes it all the way to Peterson. Peterson settles it for Mo. He's got an option out wide. Instead, he takes the left-footed shot that is slowed down there by Dutra. 2 subs, Kevin Lowe, Portland native, who played his collegiate soccer at the University of San Francisco. And Donovan McClellan, 2 seasons spent at D2 Westminster. He'll be playing his collegiate soccer at Radford, a D1 school this fall. Hatcher looking to make a run all by himself, and it'll go out. And this defense is certainly capable of keeping the clean sheet for another 20 minutes, but you'd hate to think that a deflection, a PK, a handball, something like that, and all of a sudden you find yourself down, or find yourself even, which would feel like you're trailing after the way this game has gone.
Yeah, and you can't do that. I mean, you're right, you can rely on them, but when you're trying to knock the ball around at the back and they're putting pressure on you, they force a mistake. No matter how good you're defensive, if there's a mistake, it's a mistake. You've given them the opening. You don't want to do that tonight.
It looks like the front 3 is now Giesing on the left, Peterson on the right, and Mo Muhammad. Can't tell if he's just occupying the space or if he's actually moved further forward. Also maybe a slight shift in formation as that pass for Peterson is knocked down. Feels like PDX has more players in the midfield that we're used to seeing. No, Mo Muhammad will drop here, so it's still a back 4. But I'm not sure if it's still a front 3. Hatcher will boot it deep and into the hands of Osborne. 20-plus minutes to go in this one. There's still a lot that could change. United PDX, you kind of love the clock to just filter out here. 3 points are more important than getting another goal, but unfortunately, we're going to need to play those 20 minutes either way. And a goal right now would certainly ease any tension as there's a turnover. Civits with lots of options. Civits still driving, leaves it off to the near side for Allred. Allred into the box, finds the run. Ball bounces away into a more difficult angle. I think that was Civits who actually made that run. Now Mo Muhammad battling with Civits. And again, it just feels like FC Olympia is getting themselves into some decent spaces.
Well, what they're doing is they're picking up bad passes. They're putting enough pressure on them, forcing United to force the ball in, and they're just cutting those and those winning, or they're just winning the tackle, right? So this is, I mean, FC's got a lot of opportunity because of that pressure, and United's got to control this game a lot better than what they are.
Well, and it just feels like any time there is one of those bad turnovers, FC Olympia is flooding players forward.
Yeah.
They've been able to get 5-on-5, 6-on-6, whereas we're so used to seeing United PDX always having a numbers advantage back. This is Godinez who skies that one behind the net and out for a goal kick.
But it's not like United is, they have the talent, right? And they can get it into their half, and they can get another goal. They've just got to take the ball by the horn right here, and they've got to start looking and believing that they can own this game.
Well, absolutely. And on the flip side, it has felt like there's more room in the midfield here in the second half, and if you can take advantage of one of those chances, get through that first line of the midfield, you might have numbers going the other way.
Yeah, you know, the key part to this is, one, obviously keeping the ball, playing your game, but the key is winning your first and second ball, because that's where the space gets created. So United's got to do that. And right now, I would give that to FC. They're doing a little bit better job of winning either the first. If they don't win the first, they're fighting to win that second.
Yeah, it does look like the midfield is now Lowe, McClellan, and Evans, with Giesing moving from midfield as there's a good cross in, and McDowd read it well, slipped, and I think he played it off the back of Hatcher and out for a corner. Giesing has moved to a wing with Peterson and Kubrikov. Taking the corner will be all red here in the 74th minute. This clock is not moving fast enough if you're United PDX, and moving too quickly if you're the visitors, FC Olympia, who still technically are postseason, still in the hunt for the postseason if they get some points this week. Just like United PDX, they have played far fewer games than the teams around them, but they need points and they need them badly. All settled in the midfield. This is Godinez for Evans, and now Giesing in a new role. Giesing trying to find Peterson, who's offside, and it looked like he went just a bit early.
Yeah, it was close. That was actually a really good run, and who was it who played it over?
Oliver Giesing.
Giesing, great vision. You know, you could see he was looking for that, but Drew just made that run a little too soon. I love that. That to me shows a lot, because again, I've always said this, it's not what you do on the ball, it's what you do off of it. And right there, you get to see Drew making some runs, and I think if he just went flat, then forward, in he went.
Sebastian Suber has been subbed off, and the new right back will be Lucas Junk. So I think at this point, FC Olympia may have one substitute left. They just switched their right back to left back, and Junk, I apologize, don't have a pronunciation on Lucas, is into the game. This is ahead for Sovdi, who didn't get much behind that pass. Ball floated out. Just feels like if you're not at PDX, the ball on the turf right now might be beneficial, as Peterson was all by himself. This is Mo Muhammad leaving it on the turf for McClellan. And I think it was Schnebley there who was saying, let's not play backwards. This has been one of the harder games of this homestand, and give credit to FC Olympia for that. But I think United PDX will mind too much if they're able to come away with the 3 points. Long ball with two runners in the vicinity, but that's Hatcher who wins it. Evans went down, gets right back up, and now it's Sovdi to the turf, losing it. Evans will play the long ball for Peterson with those fresh legs, battling with Dutra, and Dutra wins it and plays it back for his keeper. I don't like what you're seeing, though, from Drew Peterson, recognizing, hey, I have the fresh legs, these defenders might be tired. He's been making a lot of runs here in the second half. Players upset as Godinez got cleared out after the ball was released. But none of the referees saw it or thought it was enough for a whistle. Giesing will play this one out. 76-15 into the contest, and it's still 1-0 on the goal in the 9th minute from Isaiah Easley. The PDX has scored 2 goals in the second half of each of their last 4 games. That streak does not look like it necessarily will continue. love to just get one here in the second half to create some breathing room. And that's not the area you're going to beat United PDX. The long ball over the top with their two center backs and Roach Schnebly.
No.
Hatcher for Schnebly. And it's booted deep. Again, you're probably not going to beat Dutra or Tomas.
No, but if you can win the second ball, that's what I was saying to you. You may not win that first one, but if you can win that second ball, now you're in their half. Now you've got an opportunity to attack them. You just got to do it with some urgency.
Godinez over for Lowe. To the midfield for McClellan. And Hatcher. And PDX pushing some bodies forward. Hatcher looking to split the double team. Hatcher still going, and he just a bit too heavy of a touch. Bouncing around in all red, forced to play a difficult pass that Kolya Tomas is able to pick up. This is Tanner Dutra. Plays collegiately at Utah Tech. Stolen away in the midfield by Evans. Evans has Giesing to his left or Peterson to his right. He'll play it out wide for Giesing. Giesing, a nice header. Giesing has two options, leaves it off for Peterson, who skies it high.
Actually came off, I think he went off the defender. That's what the referee's calling it for a corner. Great ball, great run. Again, that's great vision right there from Evans, and it was a quality pass. And Giesing did a really good job of taking that. That ball needed to be a little bit more flat, a little bit more low on the ground, and could have been a good opportunity if he picked the player out.
Yeah, it felt like that ball was just a little bit behind Peterson, which is why it would have been normal for him to sky that one. But fortunate, it's a corner kick and maybe a chance to add a second free kick goal of the game. They've been scoring them in bunches during the homestand. This is Evan towards the back post. Hatcher gets ahead on it but sends it wide. Michael's probably had 2 or 3 looks at goal today.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Michael Hatcher tonight. He's been solid in the back. He's actually looked forward and made runs around the outside. And to me, where his role is to be able to do that shows such diversity in his game. I love it.
Hatcher plays at the University of Portland, where he's played in 36 games and made 2 starts. Be a redshirt senior in the fall, 2 goals in 585 minutes. He's played a lot more these past 2 seasons. Pilots are certainly one of the stronger programs here in the Pacific Northwest. The chest of Guerrero, who tries to hold off Lowe, and Lowe draws the foul. Into the final 10 minutes of regulation. Saw a minute plus of stoppage time in the first half. I don't think we're looking at much more here in the second half. This has been a game still with no cards. And outside of some substitutions, very few stoppages. Giesing battling for a corner kick. Giesing able to get inside the defender. For Giesing, who's made his 2nd consecutive start, has looked good once again, as Evans will play a player off the ball for McClellan. Now Godinez, and Godinez to the feet of Giesing. All the way back for McDowd, and across for Mo Muhammad. Mo battling the ball there, and eventually it'll come off of Mo and out for a United PDX throw. Yeah, no, I think the head referee got it right. That touched Mo last. I mean, as much as a goal would be huge here, I feel like United PDX is probably more focused on avoiding conceding, and any of these long spurts of possession as we get another foul on Sovdi, who's been a thorn in the side of this United PDX defense today.
Yeah, if FC's going to score, they're going to score off a mistake, because that's what's, that's what you can see what's going on with United. These like little passes, these stupid fouls, these kinds of things is what's going to give them the opportunity to get a goal. Hopefully they can continue with solid defense and win it and get it out and get it into their half and maybe get a goal. But that's what's going to happen here if they're not careful.
River Stewart on the free kick, finds the head of Sivits, but he puts it high and wide. Stewart, one of the second half subs that we did not catch, junior forward out of Seattle, Washington, who plays at Everett Community College. Had a great 2 seasons there, 46 goals and 11 assists, but wasn't able to find where he played this past season. It looks like we're going to get a final sub for FC Olympia, and this looks to be one of the taller players on the roster, just checking in the midfield, trying to get a number. Could be another option for them on free kicks. Schnebley will play that deep. The sub is the player on the ball there. That's 25. Quinn Bieber plays at D3 Northland College. Junior out of Lakewood, Washington. And Bieber's got to be at minimum 6'3", 6'4". Hatcher with it, looking up, and sky that one just a bit too far for Vova, and out for a throw. Sovdi chests it down, ball is played out towards midfield where Evans will send it right back. McClellan trying to settle and finds the foot of Kuberkov. For Peterson. Peterson looking for Vova and just a bit out of his reach. During the 85th minute of action. And thus far the lone goal came in the 9th. Isaiah Easley off a Loic Barres cross on a free kick. The difference in this game. Dutra floats it deep, looking for Sovdi, who knocks down Hatcher. Another foul.
It's so interesting to me that, United's playing pretty good, right? I mean, they're doing well against this team, but you can just see the dynamics that they look dangerous. FC looks like they could get a goal, although United's playing pretty decent.
Yeah, it feels like this isn't as clinical as we've seen United PDX the last couple of games, but it's still the defensive first game plan that they have. They've been able to create some chances today. They could have easily had a second goal in this game, if not some great saves from Jackson Osborne. But we'll see if leaving some of those chances and maybe not creating some chances here in the second half could end up biting them, because as much as you'd like to be able to just lock in the clean sheet here with 5 minutes plus stoppage, it's not a guarantee.
No, especially when they're putting a lot of pressure on United, and they're doing a really good job. They've got one player going for the tackle or going to put pressure, and they've got someone covering quickly. So that's the reason why you're seeing them make, they might get past one, but they've got another one putting pressure on them too. So they look dangerous because of that.
Yeah, we are nearing 270 consecutive scoreless minutes. In fact, we're about a minute and a half away from reaching that mark, and that doesn't include the stoppage time minutes on top of that. This has been such a strong defensive performance. It's the strongest defense, not only in the Northwest Division, they are a top 10 defense in the entire USL2, which includes over 125 teams. Tied for 7th out of, I think it's 128. Evans is barreled over and does not get the call. Sovdi trying to hold off a player, floating it out wide and low. And then they're going to bring it back for advantage? I'm not quite sure. I mean, I've seen worse interpretations by refs yesterday, but that was a bit confounding. FC Olympia, not surprisingly, sending bodies forward, including Bieber just into the game. Sovdi and River Stewart all up front. Because at least for the moment, they've got 2 or 3 players inside the 18. River Stewart gets knocked down, and they say play on. Vova Kuberkov for Peterson, who's onside, one-on-one with the keeper. Drew can put this game away, and it's knocked down by Osborne on a huge play to keep his team in the game. All right, Jimmy, your former center forward, what'd you see there out of Drew, and what could he have done better?
He should have just shot it sooner because the keeper had set himself in. He set himself up quickly, got his feet planted. He was ready for him to come at him, and so he really should have shot the ball around the outside. But hey, what a great opportunity for him to even get there in the first place. Great run.
Peterson onside again here, and this time will earn his team, I believe, a throw-in from the corner flag, and this is going to allow United PDX to kill off quite a bit of clock.
That would have been the killer, though, right? If you just got that, that would have changed the entire dynamics here for the last 4 or 5 minutes, you know? But
again, United PDX has not given up more than 1 goal in a game all season long. It would have been a tall task asking FC Olympia to score twice, final 3 minutes plus stoppage, as this will go out for a throw. We're about to enter the 89th minute. United PDX not as dominant as we've seen them the last 2 games, but what would be 3 more points and would be 5 consecutive wins as McClellan picks up the loose ball. Donovan wants a shot, and it stung right into the hands there of Osborne.
yeah, well taken.
Osborne's had a good game. Let's not forget that. 2 great saves on Evans, a couple other good ones. I mean, he doesn't play as well as he has looked. This easily could be a little bit of a less tense game.
Yeah, well, he's kept them in it, right? By him making those saves, he's keeping them with an opportunity to maybe get a tie out of this.
Tomas out wide, about to reach the final minute of the 90. Sivits. Sivits on the turf for Bieber. Bieber is upended there by McDowd to the middle of the box. Sovdi trying to chest it down, and who's there to deny him? None other than Hatcher. Low with the bouncing ball, trying to keep it in. Low able to do so, has the overlapping run of Giesing. Instead he looks for Peterson. And PDX trying to slowly move up, and it'll be Dutra trying to go the other way for Tomas. Sliding ball. Able to get it into the midfield, broken up by Evans. Evans has 2 options. There's a chance to go to the corner flag, and he'll find Giesing. Giesing with 30 seconds left in the 90. And again, don't expect a ton of stoppage. Giesing trying to hold off Tomas, and does so. 89-42 with the clock continuing to tick.
Yeah, they're playing smart now, so they're getting it into the corners. They want to take time off the clock, give the team, other players a little bit of a rest. So this is a, take time off the clock strategy now.
Peterson lost the ball, but the player tripped right over it. Drew still with it. Can they go to the other corner flag? They find McClellan. McClellan back for Mo Muhammad into stoppage time now. What can Mo do? Pings one perfectly out for Giesing. Can he keep it in? He does. Giesing 1v1 to the feet of Godinez. 20 seconds gone by of stoppage time. Giesing cuts back in, almost finds a player. Advantage played. Giesing shoots, and a save from Osborne, and he holds on. Go the other way. The ball's knocked down by Mo Muhammad, headed back by McClellan, and eventually picked up by Bieber for FC Olympia. 45 seconds down in stoppage. Ball pinged long. Rowan comes off and easily makes the catch. And this is the time where the goalkeeper really just loves the turf. 1 minute down in stoppage time. Expect maybe another minute 2 max. And Schnebly taking his time here as he's allowed to. Rowan will beat it. We'll send it deep as Sovdi is clearly frustrated. This ball's bouncing around, and Dutra able to head it back to his keeper. Osborne playing it deep. 2 players there, but Hatcher wins the header. To the feet of Bieber, and Hatcher again steps in front of Sovdi. I think that Softy might be having nightmares of Michael Hatcher after this game. Kevin Lowe dribbling it upfield for Kuberkoff and right back. Kevin thought about a shot, and instead he'll dribble it out. Probably the wise decision at this point. For Giesing, this has really felt like a calm final 5 minutes here from United PDX. McDowd lofts it. Giesing trying to track it down and does so with the large German center back on his back. Giesing gets knocked down and wins the throw. 2 minutes gone by in stoppage, and this might be it. It's going to be a offside, maybe? I think the referee may have finally realized his AR on the near side had the flag up. We certainly didn't see it. Almost 2:30 into stoppage time. Osborne with the big boot, looking for the head of Sovdi. Deflects over to Kuberkoff. Bova looking for Peterson. Kutra knocks it down, but it feels like United PDX is winning every second ball at this point. McClellan. Errant pass picked up by River Stewart, but who's there? Hatcher. 3 minutes gone by in stoppage time. Don't have that handy-dandy clock at midfield giving us an estimation of how much stoppage time there was, but it'll be 3:05. United PDX, it wasn't the prettiest, it wasn't the most dominant, but it's another 3 points, and Jimmy, they came in needing points from this homestand. 12 points from 4 games, you can't ask for anything more than that.
No, they did great tonight. I mean, they made a few mistakes at the back. They weren't, knocking the ball around with crispness, but the reality is you've got to win a game, and they did, right? They put a lot of pressure on FC put a lot of pressure on United, and they looked dangerous all the way through to the end there. And United stayed true, and they stayed focused, and guess what? They didn't let it go up.
A third consecutive shutout for United PDX. A 4th consecutive home win, a 5th overall win, as United PDX moves to 6-2-2, 20 points, sole possession of second place in the league. FC Olympia falls to 3-5-2, still on 11 points. The lone goal came in the 9th minute, Isaiah Easley from Loic Barres. But, Jimmy, the big thing that I don't think we've talked nearly enough about this entire homestand, because even we probably take it for granted, the defense just continues to be such an asset for this team. Yeah, they didn't play their best offensively. Yeah, they made some mistakes in the midfield, even in the back, but another clean sheet. And looking at this homestand, Michael Hatcher's played all 4 games. Rowan Schnebley's played all 4 games. Mo Muhammad's played all 4 games. Sean McDowell's been excellent the past 3. Loic Barres and Anthony Godinez have been trading the left back spot. It doesn't matter necessarily who's in those spots. It's just so steady Eddie.
Yeah, well, I just think, Hatcher does a really good job of calming that team in the defensive mode. He's great at winning. He's great at going. All of them are actually good defenders, but also good at going forward. And that creates, it makes their forwards make a decision to have to come back, which takes them out of the game, right? It takes them out of format. And so, yeah, you've got to give a lot of credit to the defense on the United team, because they every week put so much effort in to prevent from many goals going in. And like you said, these 12 points have been critical for them. And now they're in a really good place as a run for the playoffs, right?
They started the homestand in 5th place. They are now sole possession of 2nd place. That will not change tonight. There will not be a tie tonight. They still have a game in hand on Tacoma Stars, the team directly behind them on 17, and the 2 teams directly behind Tacoma. Let's take a look at our sponsors before we take an audio break and wait for our MVP of the game and head coach Troy Reddy. Starts with Core Water, enhanced with electrolytes and minerals. Core Hydration helps you stay feeling your best. Core Water. Level Beer, brewing subtle, balanced, and traditional beers with a healthy mix of New World ales and lagers thrown in for good measure. Level Beer. And finally, Elite Real Estate, serving Oregon and Southwest Washington, and now open in Vancouver. We are Elite. Come on in. We'll take an audio break and be back with our MVP and head coach in just a few minutes. United PDX takes this one 1-0 over FC Olympia. Joined by our MVP, Michael Hatcher, and our head coach, Troy Reddy. Michael, we knew we had to take a defender today because this is not only your third consecutive shutout, but because it's just been so consistent all season long, and we were really impressed by just how consistent you've been throughout this entire homestand, especially with Ryan unavailable these last 3 games. What's your mindset going into these games, knowing that the offense has been getting better, but especially early in the season, you almost needed to keep that clean sheet or keep a team to 1 goal to come away with 3 points?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just staying disciplined. Like, we have the talent, we have the guys to do it, and just staying complacent, or not staying complacent, and digging our heels in when we're trying to build out and it doesn't really go our way. We just gotta stay disciplined. So, yeah.
And Coach, for you, that team was dangerous all the way through that game. They put a lot of pressure on you. And so talk us through from the first half, what did you say at halftime, to get a little bit of energy as you go in there, because you got to keep that 1-0 up.
Yeah, we were fortunate to get an early goal, and I think, there's times when it's okay to try to build out of a press, but they knew enough of what they were doing, and we were not successful enough to where I think often the chances that they were creating were just situations we were gifting them. So we just, second half, took a little bit more cautious approach and made sure we knew if we're in trouble, it's okay to keep them honest and stretch long. But really, yeah, it's, for having now back-to-back high goal-scoring games, it was a good, just different test for the group to score a goal and then have to see it through the whole way. So for me, the good teams find multiple ways to win, and I think that was on display tonight.
How do you build that chemistry with a different center back partner? Obviously, McDowell's played really well these last couple of games, but that center back partnership is so important for the entire defense, for the entire team. What are some ways that you've worked on it with a player who you're not playing with at the collegiate level?
Yeah, just think communication, open communication, just talking as much as we can, making sure we're on the same page, especially on free kicks, set plays. And I think Rowan does a good job of leading us from the back and seeing the field well. So, yeah, I'd say communication for sure.
Yeah, and I like the fact that even though the defense is solid, they're getting forward, right? And they're creating something and creating some opportunities because they're making that move right forwards. Is that something that you do as a practice, or is that part of your philosophy?
Yeah, I mean, in general, to be honest, we haven't had many training sessions with the games coming so fast. But I think, in principle, you can hunker in and just sit and try to see out results. But there has to be opportunities to then keep other teams honest by still attacking when appropriate. And so, we had a few moments that we probably could have put the game away due to, still looking for those opportunities, and they didn't come. But credit to the group as a whole, again, for another shutout. And, I mean, you guys are probably aware, but he's played all over the field for us. So started the season up top as a leader and, being a threat in behind. So I think in some ways it may help his defensive abilities, knowing some of the movements and ideas of what is a striker thinking in this situation. But he's just been excellent throughout the season.
Well, and with that, your own team has so many different types of attackers. Jackson's obviously your prototypical big guy, but then Isaiah, who scores the goal today, the exact opposite of what you think of as the traditional center forward. How much does practicing when you actually do get to practice against guys like that help, because you're seeing a different type of center forward with each of these teams you play in this league?
Yeah, I think it makes us really dangerous, and I think as a center back, it's really allowing me to train sort of all the different techniques in terms of going direct, in terms of finding the striker coming down. Yeah.
Good performance overall, guys.
Yeah,
Great job.
Yeah, 12 points from 4 games here on the homestand. United PDX takes another one, 1-0 tonight over FC Olympia.